is dancing like they up in disco. You niggas in fist bump, you stay up and dip low. You niggas stay up and get low. Heard you way up in Frisco, and you say what the heck so. Every player gets sniffed nose, acting gay up in Cisco. Might take the day off and play up at Mistos, causing chaos and play up Calypso. I pause in kitchens and caused addictions. I pause prescriptions and cause inflictions. Lil Bixby playing in stores and bricks and on the dark web. You gotta pause every doors, cause encryptions. Tesla engines, pause the pistons. I seen every floor I leave sore and listing. For that action, they sponsored the Bronson. They was hooked on that shit like Johnson and Johnson. That freeway, Ricky Ross, straight out of Compton, straight out of Bompton. Red on blue, violence in the land. The projection of the will, the perfection of the kill, the reflection of the pills. I'm a frontline soldier, I'm no doja. These crystals not for focus and crypto. Diamonds is dancing like they up in disco. You niggas in fist bump, you stay up and dip low. You niggas stay up and get low. Heard you way up in Frisco, and you say what the heck so. Every player gets lips now, acting gay up in Cisco. Might take the day off and play up the Mistos, causing chaos and play up Calypso. Dickory, dickory, down. Hit a lick, put the sticky in the box. When the blicky get hot. Lick off a shot. Heavy in the pedal, we slip off a knot. Heavy in the ghetto, they crib walk a lot. Crib walk the crypto, lift off the stocks. Drips off the crystal and pots. Disco rods in the blocks on my chain from the crystal shop. In the light air, lift off the rock. Toe Virgil right chain on my block. White paint on my socks. White paint on my socks. Hickory dickory dock. Hit the lick, put the sticky in the box. When the blicky get hot. Lick off a shot, we lick off a shot. Players in crypto. Diamonds is dancing like they up in disco. You niggas in fist bump, you stay up and dip low. You niggas stay up and get low. Heard you way up in Frisco, and you say what the heck so. Every player gets lips now, acting gay up in Cisco. Might take the day off and play up the Pistols, causing chaos and play up Calypso.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace. Peace, family. Peace to you and yours. Peace, family. Peace to you and yours. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Melanin Mondays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes. Greetings to everybody in the building. Peace to everybody pulling up. Let's go ahead and let the family come into the building. We're going to play some music and then we'll be right back. All right. Let's go ahead and fill it up. And then we'll get right to it. We're going to do roll call. All right. So let the family get in the building, let the family pull up and get themselves comfortable, and we will be right back.
Trumpet sounds of golden arch. I saw in Zion these crystal balls of lightning, thundering different sides.
At Infinite Treasures, we get visions of angels. They communicate through angles and geometry, manifesting, impacting the material realm, space and time as we know it. What do angles and angels have in common? Both represent law and order necessary for stability and structure. Angels relevant to all things spiritual, angles relevant to all things in the physical world. These laws and order render leverage, lightening the load one carries on the journey through life.
Don't fall in a valley of the bloodbath. Trumpet sounds of golden harps. I saw.
All right, let's go ahead and do the roll call. Shout out to everybody in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to all of my KTLians. Shout out to everyone who pulled up this strong end and celebrated our born day with us. Shout out to Copper Moon, Spence City, Jefferson. There's so many names. I just want to say shout out to everybody for making it pop. Shout out to Mathino. Shout out to Evil Twin. You know what I mean? It was definitely a movie. All right. Let's go ahead and let's do roll call. Let's see who's in the building before we get into the festivities today. Oh, and shout out to everybody that has purchased the Prince coin on Base Pump. I don't know if y'all are aware of what we have going on with the crypto, but we'll talk about it. We might even bring Bitcoin Bully and Slice back on for another show. They were on Techno Tuesdays, laying out a brand new way to get paid as an artist. So it needs to receive more fanfare. Shout out to everybody that went ahead and got the coin. I believe we're up to 60,000 on Prince. Let me go ahead and pull that up so we can actually show you what support looks like. You know what I'm talking about? And you too could be, so you know, if you get with the program, if this is something, you know, especially if you're a musician. My thing is this: if you're a musician and you are on streaming services and you're on only Spotify, and that's how you get paid, and this is something, and it's 2025, you're a fucking slave and you're corny as hell. You know what I'm talking about? And you're a bum. You know what I mean? And you're a part of the problem. Facts. I'm just saying, you're a bum because you let them people play in your face and you just running around all fake happy-go-lucky uploading music like that shit is the move. Like that's a flex or something. Nigga, get your fucking shit back. You know what I'm talking about? We don't need, it's too many slaves out there. We need more people that are moving like they're not, quote unquote, the help. We need more people who understand what this shit really is versus what it's not. You know, it's not rocket science. If you get 0.00000 for a purchase of your artwork and you don't have a problem with that, nigga, something is wrong. Something is incredibly wrong, bro. You feel me? Like you should want more for yourself, but I'm not here to tell you how to sell your art and what you could do with your art. I'm just here to let you know that there are artists who are not starving. There are artists who are not a part of the quote unquote fuckery. There are artists that are not getting jerked. There are artists that are not moving around like jerks. There are artists that are not moving around like the hell. It's imperative because, to be honest with you, no disrespect to anyone, but I just don't have the time, the energy, the wherewithal, nor do I give a fuck about the artists that are continually going through what they're going through because they've been fronting and stunting and lying to the people for so many years about what they really was doing, and they wasn't doing that. They wasn't doing that. So kick rocks, nigga. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, y'all have moved around this planet on our dime. You niggas was moving around on planet on our dime. Okay? Y'all were being sponsored by the people. And you had an obligation to go and bring back something. You couldn't even bring back an export business. All of these artists went to Africa. Niggas brought fake water to Africa, but never came back to the States with no type of quote unquote, with nothing. With nothing. No, they didn't bring back anything. So here's Prince, here's Bass Drop, and here's the market cap on it. We got a total, so we got a lot of coins, right? We up to 60,000. We got 13 holders, and this is how shit's supposed to go, man. This is how shit's supposed to really move, bro. This is how things supposed to go. We were supposed to be able to support one another, and and let the numbers speak for themselves. I had a very intense, strong end. Oh, Candace is cooking right now. I'll catch the replay. Y'all go catch Candace in the kitchen, and if that's the shit that amuses you, then go ahead and knock yourself out, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? But Candace is an op too. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, she's a motherfucking op. It's cute to see her do what she do, but she's an op. You know what I mean? So we're not really team Candace like that. You know what I'm saying? Like she's part of the divestment bedwench movement. She doesn't really speak for me particularly. So whatever the fuck she's doing, let her do it. She's taking down somebody that I don't have nothing to do with. She's taking down she's taking down, and I don't really know. I don't really know because I don't know who to trust. I don't know who to trust. You feel me? I don't know who to trust. She can't earn my trust, or she can't earn my loyalty, or she can't necessarily earn from anything from me by just doing what she's doing. You know what I mean? Like, that's not enough. You know what I'm talking about? I really don't know what she's doing, but whatever it is that she is doing, she's capping for a white dude who, she never was with. I don't know if they were together. I really don't know. I just know that, at the end of the day, she doesn't necessarily represent us. She doesn't really serve our interests. She's not there to serve our interests. She could give 3 fucks about any of us. So, yeah, what am I supposed to be doing exactly for her? I don't know. The enemy of my enemy is not always my friend, right? I would say this about Candace, that I would love, LOVE. I would absolutely adore the opportunity to like sit with her, right? What are we going to talk about? Who the hell knows? But I would love an interview. There's some questions that I need to ask her from a black man to a black woman. You feel me? That I would love to interview her about. I just want to be able to crack her wide open with the bullshit, because I think that she's standing on a lot of falsehoods and she don't even believe that shit. It pays the bills, so she's gonna ride with whatever pays the bill. She's one of those people. She's a crypto Christian. I don't believe that she's all the way in. That's just me. And once again, it goes back to what I was saying, this strong end, where I had to really sit back and analyze. I'm getting into this 50-year revive. I'm looking at my 50 years of service, or whatever, 20 years. We definitely should spam her and get the interview. At the end of the day, she's one of us. I don't want to offend anyone in the audience who happens to be fans of her. I am a fan of her, right? I never said that I wasn't. I'm a fan of her journalism. I'm a fan of her demeanor. I'm a fan of her professionalism. I'm a fan of how she's able to kill without cursing. I'm just a fan of crazy black women. I'm into shit like that. You know what I mean? That's one of my things and whatnot. And she's crazy. She's fucking cuckoo, my nigga. She's Lulu. You know what I mean? Like, she's really out of here. So, that's the soft spot part. But on the other, yeah, and she's fine. Like, let's keep it 1,000. Let's keep it 1,000. She is very easy on the eyes. And it's not an intimate type of thing, you know what I mean? But there's some mugs out there that I don't have no problem with looking away from. You know what I mean? With her, it might be a little bit different. You know what I'm talking about? No, who you said who's fine? Candace is fine. What are you? Yeah, Candace is fine. Here we go. I triggered I triggered a graper. I triggered a graper. Then they're like, who filed? What you mean, Cam? Is she not wearing her real hair? Yes, nigga, Candace Owens. Yes, nigga. Yes, Candace. Candace. My nigga, Candace. Yeah, Candy, nigga. She's fine, nigga. What are you talking about? Is she not fine? Am I seeing things? Am I seeing? She's not my preference, but she's fucking gorgeous. What are you talking about? Like, are you dumb? Oh, you just came in? Okay. You just got in here. Yeah, we were talking about Candace Owens. We were disowning her and owning her at the same time. You know, she's cute. That's just cool. Like she's not gorgeous, not drop dead gorgeous. She's cute. She's a Stanford, Connecticut cute. Yeah, yeah. And the fact that she got a little bit of intelligence with her and shit like that, that makes it kind of cuter. You know what I'm saying? You said you plead the fifth, but she's definitely not ugly. Hey. And at the end of the day, that's just to show that I'm not hating. I'm not a hater. You know what I'm saying? I will give flowers where they are due. Her politics might not align with my politics, rightfully so. Her stance of, I don't even know what her stance is against black men. I don't know if she has a stance. You feel me? I really don't. I would love to hear what her stance might be, because I know that she's laid up with a wafer. You know what I mean? I know that she's laid up with she got a European husband. So I know that she goes the divestment route, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if she's one of those who hate their own kind and they decided that they wanted to divest and turn other people against the black man. You know what I mean? Or is she a black man hater, or does she just have a preference for trust fund babies? Yeah, I would like to know these things. You don't like nobody that talks white? Brett fam, I'll probably half of the people this in this live talk white at work. They code switch. That used to be a pet peeve of mine, but I got over that shit. You know what I mean? I don't care. It just doesn't matter anymore. It's really about if you have a code switch mentality. Like, if you switch, do you stay there? Are you a coon? You know what I'm saying? Are you a sellout? You know what I mean? Are you going to code switch around mayonnaise people and act like I don't even know these guys? You know what I'm saying? I respect code switching to keep your motherfucking job. I respect code switching so some of that shenanigans shit don't come out at the water cooler. I respect code switching because your ass is just playing the game. I play the game. You know what I'm talking about? I play the game. I do. Did I get the gift that you sent me? No. No, I did not. But if you did send it to me, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But I don't think that I have a gift from you in particular. She don't like niggas and educated black men because there are educated black men she turns down. Well, she's married, so I don't know who she was turning down prior to that. You know, I know that one of you available men should have snatched her up. I would have went and looked for her. You know what I'm talking about? I would have, it looked like she was on Charlie's body. It looked like she was on Charlie's body. You know what I'm talking about? She credits her Southern granddad as her idol. Okay, so she likes men to do things with their hands. You know what I mean? I could read through that. She likes accomplished men from the South that are very, because men, you know what I mean? I kind of know what she's talking about. You know, those old Southern grandfathers, it's like an archetype. They're very hands-on, very stern, serious. You know, they take care of the family. This is me generalizing. It's definitely not what everybody down south is doing, grandfathers and shit. But I kind of think that that's what she's speaking of. She's very traditional. She's a trad wife. You know what a trad wife is? That's that shit that they're selling all of these white folks over there on the Republican side. A traditional wife. We're gonna, you know what I mean? We're gonna buy a farm and raise some cattle and raise about 30 mixed kids, and You know, you're gonna be a trad wife. You're gonna eat beef. What's that shit that they on right now? They doing like raw milk and vermicelli and shit like that. You know what I mean? That's like the JD Vance slash, you know, America beef. They on beef tallow, nigga. Go get you a. Yeah, the sisters don't want niggas to eat oxtails. They want that beef tallow. You know what I'm talking? Pack it up and go over there on the other side and eat that beef tallow. So it's like that's like the pitch that they on right now. You know what I mean? They want to do the trad wife thing. They're gonna get baptized. They're gonna re-Christianize them. You feel me? They're gonna eat beef tallow with the mixed kids. You know what I mean? That's the move right now. You know too much about beef tallow. Pause. Nah, I be watching Tucker Carlson. All of these podcasts, they're selling some type of beef and bison, my nigga. I shit you not. They're doing, that's their thing. I don't know what it is. It might be a way that they're washing money or something. I have no idea. But all of the far right wingers are selling like fucking they're selling like vitamins and shit. They're selling beef tallow. They're selling fucking packs and like survival packs and shit. You know what I mean? MRDs or whatever that is. So it's the paleo diet. Yeah, it's a paleo diet. You know, I think, isn't homie with the scratchy throat pushing that shit? JFK Jr. Yeah, they out here pushing MREs and shit. The tallow is the fat. You know? The tariff relief on beef. Oh, yeah, the Argentina beef. Right. So, make a long story short, shout out to Candace Owens. Continue your she's the #1 podcaster in the world. I'm not sure if y'all know this or not, but the numbers had came in and she's #1. So obviously somebody is tapped in. Okay, it's at the bookstore. All right, no doubt. All right, I'll be there this week. We've been moving around, so I appreciate you, Tequila. Salute, I really do. How did they monetize the channel again, Red? How's the lawsuit for YouTube? Well, obviously the lawsuit is still underway. The fact that they gave the channel back is gonna really help the lawsuit. You know, we gotta hit him for something monetary. I know y'all you know what I mean? Like, you know, we just can't let this shit fly. You feel me? They taking the channel severely went against our politics. You feel me? Taking the channel 2 years ago while it was monetized, you know, this is what I'm telling them. It impeded upon my business and you know, and threw me completely off. So that is what it is that we have to go to them with. But the lawsuit is still going. We're still gonna hammer them. We're still gonna go for the jugular and whatnot. And thank God that they gave the channel back. They obviously know that the lawsuits are coming. Yeah, they gave RZA, they gave Yaki, and they gave a few other people their channel back. So, you know, in this MAGA world that we're living in, they're doing a lot of that stuff because of the Trump policies and shit like that. So don't get gas. It's nothing personal. They just trying to dodge all of that censorship and other things that are coming down the pipeline because of C-19 and whatnot. Shout out to Hit Sayu. Shout out to the brother Hit Sayu. He did a powerful class #2, a workshop #2 last Thursday. If you have not checked it out, please make sure you check it out. This brother is bringing collegiate level information that costs literally thousands of dollars in workshops I promise, I shit you not, on that side in corporate America and in other places, industry and all of that, to have this brother come through and talk about brands and how to develop brands, minimum $10,000 just to be on the stage for an hour. So let's check out this commercial, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be right back.
The old vanguard taught performance, polish, persona, profit. But beneath every brand, there's a being waiting to remember its name.
You were never meant to market yourself. You were meant to mythologize yourself.
This isn't a course. It's a conjuring. 4 weeks.
You were never meant to market yourself.
You were never meant to market yourself. You were meant to mythologize yourself. You were never meant to market yourself. You were meant to mythologize yourself.
The primal ontological loop is the hidden architecture of being, tool, expression, identity, meaning, the 4 chambers where all sovereign brands are born.
The algorithm was never neutral. It's a digital parasite feeding on human cognition itself.
A tool is intention made tangible. Expression is how that intention breathes. Identity is the rhythm that gathers when your tools strike true. And meaning is the vow behind it all and the way it impacts the world. Branding isn't corporate cosplay, it's ontology in drag, the ritual through which your myth takes form. IRL. We live in the age of ghost signals, where creators burn bright but unseen, mimicking trends instead of transmitting substance. The loop is how you rebuild your mythic infrastructure, how you remember what your signal sounds like before the distortions.
The pulsing light is the breath of the cosmos. The universe reveals its true form not in chaos, but in the sacred geometry of being.
This isn't a course, it's a conjuring. 4 weeks, 4 gates. Co-hosted with KTL Media, you'll forge the tool, embody the expression, stabilize the identity, and anchor the meaning. The primal pivot begins here. Enter the loop, become the myth.
This isn't a course, it's a conjuring. 4 weeks, 4 gates. The primal ontological loop is the hidden architecture of being. Tool.
Yes. Shout out to the good brother Hit. All right. Shout out to the good brother Hit. Do I have an email? I took the first class but couldn't log into the next. All right. Here's my email. It is right here on the banner. Please, anybody that has any questions, send me an email, okay? And we will be able to answer you promptly about anything dealing with the page. Somebody has said the Brother Panic page is back, and I went over there, and Brother Panic's page is back. Okay, I believe it's occult lectures. So, where's the replay at? The replay is available on KTL University. The replay is available for all of the ticket holders and students and the top tier Patreons. If you are a rainbow opal and above up to citrine, then you have access to the replays. I would highly suggest your ass go and get that right now. Okay, go and tap into that right now. Okay, replays it's hitting, you know what I mean? The brother is bringing high level information that we all are going to benefit from. I promise you. Don't take my word for it because I'm biased. Let's just ask the family that's in the audience. who were a part of that class, how do they see it? You know what I mean? And they'll tell you, you know what I'm talking about? So once again, salute to brother Hit. I'm gonna try to have him on the show very soon. So yes, everybody is going to check it out for the Panic. Yes, Panic is back. Panic's page is back. In the era of Notebook LM and retrieval augmented generators like Notebook LM and others, where you could take links. Well, I'm just saying Notebook LM more than anything else. You could build a Panic notebook now. I got a Bobby Hemmett notebook. Now you could take the Panic videos and build out a Panic notebook and Notebook LM and basically talk to Panic. That's how that shit works. And talk to his the AI version of him, right? You said Aku is the rookie of the year. Yes. Shout out to Hitsayu Aku. You know what I mean? We might have to do a vote. I don't know. I'm biased. We might have to do a vote by the end of this year and whatnot. Ladies and gentlemen, there are a ton of things that are going to be happening in December. I need y'all, and also in January and in February. The next year is already getting booked up. There's a lot of shit going on in 2026. Please prepare yourself. But the end of 2025, we are going out with an MF and bang. You know what I mean? We are going out with an MFing bang. Trust me when I tell you, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna make this shit a movie. We have 2 events in December, and look and just wait to hear about those. We're gonna roll those out this week. We have 2 events in Atlanta live in December. We have an event in March in the Virgin Islands dealing with music. We have an event in Bermuda coming up. We got a lot of shit popping, y'all. We got an event in Costa Rica coming up. Where else? Oh, we're gonna be in Houston on the 22nd of November, which is next week, with Top Cat. Next Saturday, I believe. We're gonna be out there with Top Cat, and it's going to be dealing with the quote unquote Indigenous Day that he's throwing. Indigenous Day. It's sort of like a powwow. My segment, I have a spin-off room. Me and Spin are booked to be there. And our segment, which will last about 3 hours, is going to be what? Houston, we have a solution. So we're going to do a 3-hour workshop, and it's going to be all solution-based. I really suggest that y'all be in the building. How many people is pulling up to Houston this strong in and rock with Top Cat? How many of y'all know about it? And how many of y'all are pulling up? I'm just inquiring minds want to know. I just really want to know, you know. But shout out to everybody in the Houston area. All right. We will see you very soon this weekend. Okay. Let's do the roll call. I didn't even do the roll call. How rude of me. Let's do the roll call, y'all. Let's see who's in the building. There's enough of y'all already at this point. Let's turn up. Okay. Let's turn up. All right. If you're interested in the Houston event, all you Dallas, Fort Worth family and all of that, San Antonio's, yeah, come through. We're gonna do that. Where them fans at? We're gonna be wearing the I might throw the boots on. You know what I'm talking about? I might go all the way cowboy with it, or horseman. I'm sorry, I might go all the way horseman with it, and throw the spurs on and all of that. You know what I'm talking about? I might go full Beyonce on you niggas. Naptown, aka Mecca. How y'all doing? Modesto. We got Charlotte in the building. Hey, Charlotte. Greensboro. Hey, Greensboro. Seminole, Florida. Land of the hidden mounds, aka land of the flowers. It's Columbia, South Carolina in the building. San Antonio in the building. North Las Vegas. We got Jersey. Okay, we got North Las Vegas. We have Buffalo. We have San Jose. We got Thailand, Boston in the building, Detroit in the building, Commerce, Georgia in the building, Toronto in the building, South Jersey, Greensboro, Baltimore, Bmore, Maryland, Daytona. We got Phoenix. We got Philly. Damn, y'all deep. What's happening? What's going on? It's a stick up. Southern Oregon in the build with Southern Oregon. Shout out to Southern Oregon. You got to be a legend if you're from Southern Oregon tapped in. We got another Charlotte. Charlotte, link up. We need Charlotte to tap in with Charlotte. Mississippi, you dig? All right. Charlotte, Philly in the building. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to Ross Ben. How many of y'all are ready for the Ross Ben end of the year lecture / demonstration / 3-eye atlas motherfucking conference with Mr. Star Nation himself? How many of y'all are ready? How many of y'all are ready? How many of y'all have prepared yourselves? I'm wondering. But regardless if you're ready or not, I'm going to need you to get ready because we are going to be pulling up with Ross Ben and friends. I'm not going to even say how many people are going to or who's going to be on the bill. We'll roll it out. But Ross Ben is definitely going to be in the building for the end of the year conversation that we've been having and we're going to continue to have. We really got to check Ross Ben's record on what he said was going to happen in 2025 in the 2024 in the 2024 lecture. Let's pull that up. I might upload that and then we're going to take a toll. We're in November. I'm going to upload that tonight. Matter of fact, we are in that era. We're in that time right now. Okay. Where we need to be able to say, what did Ross Ben predict? What came true that Ross Ben predicted? You smell me? I'm very interested in that. I'm gonna take us. Let's go on a journey for my birthday. I got a little bit of footage on my gram and whatnot. We'll take a little journey over to the gram and then we'll get into some other things. But a little bit of birthday recap, not too crazy and whatnot. To be honest with you, this year it was more so. I was more so focusing on what? On creations, on creating things, being creative. And what does that mean? Ultimately, what that means is, I could be doing a lot of things for my birthday. You feel me? I could be doing a lot of things for my birthday. I could be partying. I could be standing on couches. You feel me? I could do a bunch of things. I have the options to do it. I could fly out the country. I could have went ahead and did mad shit. But touching 50 is different than anything else, right? I can't stand on couches anymore. And there's not a lot of things that really interest me at this point in life. To keep it a buck with you, like I would be in the club and would be fucking depressed. You know what I'm saying? Like I would be in somebody's club and be super depressed. Like, why the fuck am I here? You know what I mean? They're in this bitch playing whoop-de-doo and all this stupid shit. Like, why am I here? I'll start questioning reality. But I decided that I'm too grown for all of that shit. And the best thing that I could do on my born day is to do something that's going to give back, right? The gift that keeps on giving. So this is the initial post for the birthday, grown man shit. You know what I'm talking about? You got to chill with the ducks by the water and whatnot when you hit that age. You know what I mean? You got to sit down like an old schoolie and just watch the ducks. You know what I'm talking about? Shit hit different. It just hit different. I'm watching ducks now. I'm watching ducks. I don't want to be in nobody's club. I don't like people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, recently, it's just a new thing that came about me. I don't want to be around people. I think people are not living up to the standards of what people have been designed to be. So it's like I'm all for people right now. I'm not impressed. You know what I'm saying? So it was a little roll. We did the rollout. We was doing rollouts and whatnot, letting people know. And we're live.
And
I'm very last minute. You know what I'm saying? I'm extremely last. I had like 3 months to do this, and I didn't do it because, you know, I don't know. I wasn't really sure as to what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But the last few days leading up to my birthday, I knew that I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have a get together with people that fuck with me and that I fuck with. I'm gonna put the word out there, and
featuring
people gonna know how to make it.
Y'all make sure y'all turn up. Y'all make sure y'all are in the building.
People are gonna show
All
up.
All the members already got their invites.
This I know. It don't matter if the person finds out the day of or a few days. But you know, I didn't want to make it all big and crazy and whatnot. I was doing more of an intimate thing because at the end of the day, I just don't want to be around crowds right now. That's just not something that I want to be. I don't want to be in clubs, and I don't want to be around a bunch of people that I don't really know like that. I'd rather be around people that I know and I fuck with, and it's just us intimately. You know what I mean? I'm more so moving into that phase of life of intimate surroundings and not necessarily being around strangers and not being accessible and shit. I don't want to be accessible like that. The Black Birthday drip was legendary. Yeah, I appreciate that. We had to pull up and let these niggas know this is not a game. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, that's where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? Surround me with some beautiful people, surround me with some music and some good vibes, and I'm in heaven. I'm good. I'm more so want to sit down and build with people that are really building. All of that party and shit, that's not really what I'm on. I want to sit down. We could play some music and do all of the things that we do at the party, but I want to talk about solutions. I want to know who got 10 bands and want to match my 10 bands to make some shit happen. That's what I'm interested in. I'm not really interested in all of that other things, because if you keep doing the same thing, you know, that is a telltale sign that your ass is insane. And the things that that are available for us to do as melanated men, especially, it's some childish shit. You know what I mean? It's literally like Groundhog. We don't have nothing to really do. They're not giving us much options. You know what I mean? You know, go get drunk, nigga. Go pass out. You feel me? Go stand on the couch somewhere. Go and spend a bunch of money and whatnot for a little bit of what? Stimulation? The fuck? And so I'm going to reach 50 and show that I haven't learned anything in these 50 years. No, nigga. I'm putting a private party together where I'm going to play my fucking music. I told the DJ, nigga, I will send you home if I don't hear my music. This nigga was playing other people's music. You know? He was playing other people's music at my party. I'm like, nah, fam, we not doing that. I'm gonna pack you up, play my shit. So I wanted to hear my music and be around people that I know on face value, right? By their face card. And, you know, that's how I did it. So that's what we did. We did a shingding over here in the West End, and it was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? We had great fun. It was a headphone party, okay? A silent party. I was able to take people down a rabbit hole of, you know, of my life, right? This is the wind down. This is like where we was all getting ready to go home and shit. You know what I mean? And this was us outside the spot. I'm just pouring up drinks for family. You know what I mean? Making sure that they enjoy themselves, making sure that they good, making sure that they get some of this good berries. There go Papa Moon. Hey, Papa. Papa Moon saved the day. You know what I mean? Salute to her and her son. But yeah, that's what we was doing. We was just enjoying life. You know what I mean? We wanted people to enjoy it with us. So friends and family and their loved ones, you know, that's who we was catering to. And like I said, I spent the whole weekend doing what? Creating shit that's gonna live longer than me. Right? Creating art that's going to further history. Right? That's what I spent my weekend doing. My weekend is creating. And ultimately, at 50 years old, there's nothing else that I would rather do than that. That's the only thing that will basically give me some type of solace and whatnot. That's the only thing that would feed my quote unquote desires and make me say, yeah, you know what? I did this shit big time. So I just wanted to create. I brought my good friend Mathino from Philadelphia. He's the one that's responsible for China Flow video. He did VVS video. House of Tunes is the name of his company. He's done a lot of the cinematic depictions that you've seen us in. You feel me? So I flew him to the A, you know what I mean? And we got busy. You said the jacket is fire. Yeah, the jacket is killing shit. Yeah, we was catching bodies. I will have these jackets available because you know how that, I'm not gonna step out with no drip that's not available, my G. So that's gonna be available very soon. You know what I mean? Maybe as soon as tomorrow. But I don't want to get no copyright.
Bitches in my section. Y'all with all this money, I'm obsessive.
Then to top it all off, because the universe, man, if nothing showed me that the great divine speaks through signs and that the universe is conspiring for my success, if nothing showed me that, it was the things that took place this strong in, to whereas the universe was fucking with me the right way. And one of the things that the universe threw, one of the bones that it threw, like, it's just throwing gifts all weekend and whatnot, is that it on my birthday, of all days of the calendar year, it was revealed to the world, nonetheless, that Donald Trump is an eater. He's an eater. He was eating Bubba shrimp. How about that? You know what I'm talking about? He was eating Bubba shrimp. And it's not just the fact that, that your man's got outed on my birthday. It's the fact that I get to see you niggas' faces who was putting Donald Trump name in your mouth. Y'all was wearing the red hat. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all bought the sneakers. You niggas that bought your Trump coins, y'all was walking around. Yeah, you got a filthy eater as a president. How do you feel about that? I want all of these people from this community who tried to act like they were standing on business. These niggas was acting like they were standing on business. And they was all of this Trump shit. Where are they at right now? On my birthday, nigga, you got cooked. How about that? Yeah. Fricassee. We fried them up. Hibachi, you niggas. Like, I'm just waiting to cook. You already dead. I'm just waiting to kill you, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? You already dead. I'm just waiting to put you in the dirt, nigga. You're done. You can't work in this town anymore. Yeah. Y'all niggas is not about to jump on the internet, dick riding Donald Trump, and we're gonna let you live. That's not about to happen. That's not about to happen. You're about to get cooked. I'm giving niggas 48 hours to fully denounce the MAGA movement, apologize, and take like a sabbatical. You literally gotta self-deport for shit like this. You niggas gotta self-deport. Go silent for about a month, my nigga. Go silent for about a month. We don't even want to hear from you. You know what I'm talking about? All of the Donald Trump MAGA. Yeah, all of you niggas for Trump. Yeah, you get you yeah. Where you at right now? Your president is an eater of Bubba shrimp. And it was in emails. And if you read the Jeffrey Epstein emails was crazy. So the email dump was on November 14th. And it's not just him being an eater. That's just one email. There's thousands of emails. There's thousands. I mean, I don't even think I got the time to read them all. But the ones that I have given my male gaze to, yeah, that shit look crazy. You know what I mean? The things that are being said in the email, it's crazy. Yo, first of all, they said that he's Jeffrey Epstein was one of the original funders of Bitcoin. He is one of the people behind Bitcoin, Mr. Epstein. It's a whole bunch of shit in those emails. I mean, god damn it. We don't even have time to go over everything. But yes, one of the bigger things, and it's all over the media if you know where to look. You know what I mean? Of course, the butthurt Republicans, they're not going to highlight the fact that this nigga was out here. Your president is out here giving fire Becky to Bill Clinton, of all people. Blowing his sacks. Bill Clinton, nigga. Bill Clinton, out of all people, you blowing his sacks. Like, yeah, pack him up. Yeah, them files they never coming out. Y'all might as well stop asking. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to just go with the emails and be pleased with those, because it's not coming out. It's not coming out. You know why it's not coming out. The emails will show you why it's not coming out. All of them, every single one of them, either are red-handed guilty or they've been protecting their quote-unquote comrades. They are guilty by association. They've covered up a bunch of shit. Everybody's guilty. The whole goddamn, the whole everything. They got to get January 6th. Get them up out of here. Yeah, and Vladimir Putin is shooting because let them act crazy. Let them talk crazy to Vladimir. No, that's why Trump is out there. He'll let Vladimir pat him on the head like, come here, little nigga. You know I got them tapes on you. You know I got them tapes on you. You know I got them Diddy tapes on you. Henceforth, why he was so willing to let Diddy off the hook, Donald Trump, that is. I mean, it might be a Trump Meek Mills tape or something. I don't know. But we are all coming to the conclusion collectively, as a collective. This is so crazy. This is so poetic justice, right? But as a collective, we're coming to the conclusions that your politicians, not only can't they be trusted, but something needs to be done, you know, with the fact that so many people are in office that are in power, that are in control of the levers and whatnot. So many of them are considered to be compromised. Okay? Super compromised. You know what I mean? They all are compromised. There's none of them can be trusted. They all have blackmail on them. It's a bunch of shit, man. But let's continue. Let's move on.
Blessings, bitches in my section. Y'all with all this. These my streets, these my corners. Fucking with Max B, nigga, use a corner. Bullets in your ass like heat from the sauna. Jeep from the corner. Beats with them heats in them Jeeps that'll scorn you. Mom do, rap do, just a black suit. These my streets, these my corners. Fucking with Max B, nigga, use a corner. Bullets in your ass like heat from the sauna. Jeep from the corner. Beats with them heats in them Jeeps that'll scorn you. Mom do, rap do, just a black suit. These my streets, these my corners. Fucking with Max B, nigga, use.
Peace, family. Peace, you and yours, brother. Red Pillar Report.
You did a video
live and direct. Yes.
Crypto.
You heard it clear. The eagle has landed, baby. You know what I'm talking about? Scorpion King weekend. Sunday. I'm doing the move.
Just going through certain Oh
Peace,
yeah,
family. Peace to you and yours, brother. Red Pillar Report
did a
live and
Waffle
direct.
House
Yes, I'm
video
here with
late
Spin
night.
City.
You know what I mean?
Spin.
Troll all the vegans.
I'm here with the God Justin.
You feel me?
And I'm talking about.
This was us on a Saturday night. Spin City, Jefferson, Rod Deezy came through
All the way from Louisiana.
all the
Look
way
at the
from
trippy
Louisiana.
tent.
That's Rod Deezy
Bears
right there.
gifts.
Came and hooked me up. I got my
Thanos complete. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I just want y'all to know tomorrow, Pegasus Crypto video shoot. You know what I'm talking about? DMs. Get the DM if you want to be a part of history. Diamonds to dancing, like they in a disco. Oh, now. Spin City, look, Techno Tuesday IRL.
Hey, all the Techno Tuesdays finna be IRL now, man. We getting our studios together. We getting our equipment together,
City.
man.
He just became an Atlanta resident. So we're going to be doing more Techno Tuesdays IRL because Spin is now in Atlanta, an AT alien. All right, so give it up to him.
See some of my junk films I'm setting up too. Red
I'm like a magnet. I'm definitely real.
It's a vibe. Come on.
Let's go. Let's go. What you got? You going crazy right here.
Yeah, the ring game.
See that baby. Dana, look. You going hard. That was dumb, baby. All cop on the thumb.
Really
all cop on the thumb.
That's a crazy belt.
You know what I mean?
With the
Belt.
Okay.
Yeah, but shout out to Randeezy. She drove all the way to Louisiana. This is in a mall. You got some where they're selling incense, they selling sandalwood, all kind of this is all for the blue cars. So I'm suspecting that this is not our people behind this. I don't know, but we need this in all of the malls. We need this in all of the malls. We need what they call a Zen box. We need them in all the malls. For real. Because this is a genius fucking idea. We can have our children, the young ones that are into shit like this, monetize and get right. But yeah.
Motherfucking bump.
Stay with the Panthers, the magical city. Stay with the dancers. Stay with the dancers. Stay with some answers.
I don't think people know the catalog that they have.
Crypto advances, triple your chances. Hit with the canvas. Crystals are dancing, shifting the planet, lifting the granite. Spinning around waves like Peter the Swine.
You got the double hood.
I realized that I was lacking on my visuals. You feel me? I realized that I was kind of slipping on my visuals. You feel me? So I had to step it up. So I had to reach out to my guy with the movie camera. It's like, damn, I was like, I haven't seen a movie with me in it in a long time. I'm doing all of this AI shit, but where's the movie, my nigga? So it's movie time. Yeah, you damn right. I'm getting a fucking collabo with Big Avell. That's a no-brainer. You know I gotta get something with the Silver Surfer on the hook. You know what I mean? So yeah, the Zen box is a great idea. You probably could Google it and whatnot. Find out who the owners are. Find out if they are selling it. If they have like a franchise. You feel me? If not, we're gonna have to figure out how to do our own version of that. But that shit right there, that vending machine was the illest vending machine that I've ever seen, bro. I've never seen nothing like that. And it was right there in the mall. Like, you don't have to try to hunt down the crystal girl, or you could go right to the mall, make your selections, and then you're out of there. You know what I mean? And go home. And they got shit for spiritual baths. They got sandalwood. They got things for smudging and whatnot. They have manifestation, affirmation stuff. It's just a lot. Schoolie Red and Big Avelli is gonna be powerful. You damn right. Oh, we going crazy. We going crazy. I got to connect to him too, so that's not really even gonna be difficult. You dig? That's not gonna be difficult. We'll make that happen. There's a lot that I want to talk about. I'm just not going to do it right now on Melanin Mondays. There's just some insight that I've come to that I want to share. It's gonna be. I'm gonna spend a lot of time reflecting. I need to get ready for that. It's gonna be a lot of time reflecting and going into the memory or the Rolodex, hitting 50 years old, it triggered this immense quote unquote recollection cycle in my mind and whatnot. It really just, and Scorpio's in retrograde. We're in the retrograde right now, y'all. And we got a Scorpio moon on the way. It's a lot of shit going on right now. So there's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of people running into people from their past. There's a lot of resurfaced things. There's a lot of people still dealing with feelings and shit like that you might have compartmentalized or buried and whatnot. This moon is bringing out a bunch of things and this quote unquote retrograde. All right. I'm going to bring some of the legends through to talk about it. You know what I mean? Might even pull up with cosmophysics to give y'all the cosmophysics degrees about what's going on these days and whatnot. So as a result of that, I'm going to be in alignment with the universe. I don't want to go against it. I want to be in alignment with it. So my alignment involves just reflecting retroactively. You feel me? Kind of like keep it, because it's the retrograde. So you gotta watch out what it is that you can't sign no contracts. You don't want to get into too many things during the retrograde, because it's the motherfucking retrograde. It's time to just chill, you know what I mean, and relax and fall back and observe. So some of the insights that I'm going to share that with the family in the next few days and whatnot. This is just my unpacking. I do agree that a lot has to change for this brand. In order for this brand to continue, a lot has to change, or we're going to have to retire the brand. Because the sustainability factor of being able to build and move forward is something has to change. You know what I mean? And if something doesn't change, then, the channels would just be a motherfucking museum the way that they are right now. It'll just be something that we'll have for people to watch. But it's 2026 coming up. Like I have to be able to move with a more it just has to be more solution based, and it just has to, you know what I mean? Certain things just have to take place in order for me to even continue doing what I'm doing, because of the time, because of the energy, because of so much that has got put into it over the past 20 years. And to be honest with you, the support has been like 1%. It's been like 1%. Okay, so awesome. It's Black owned. And that mall that I was in is a black mall. So that's a good thing to see that it's Black owned. Somebody should reach out to them, because now we know that they're Black owned. We could get a franchise. We could see if they're franchising. 50-year memoir. Yeah, that's a lot of writing, bro. To do a 50-year memoir, I literally would have to just get low for about 6 months. I would have to literally disappear, because it is not possible to do some of the things. It's not even possible to do music in what I'm doing right now. It's not possible. You can't do too many things. Being a polymath is one thing, but being completely laser focused, that's another thing. Like, you can't be laser focused on music and be doing podcasts. I don't know how that works, because when you're laser focused, you eat, sleep, and shit this thing. You're not thinking about Monday. You're not thinking about Third Eye Thursdays. You're not thinking about none of those things. You're thinking about the motherfucking chase, getting on the beat, hitting the pocket, and using your imagination, because this is all imagination. So the type of imagination, the type of computing power that you spend making thumbnails, making channels, all of that shit, you literally could put that into your art and make some motherfucking fire ass album cover. You could use the time and the energy to write. So I'm literally in this place right now where I'm in a limbo state. I want to be creative. I want to just create. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I want to get lost. I want to disappear. You know what I mean? I want to disappear. I don't want to be on stream like that. But then there's another side of me that wants to be on stream. You know what I mean? That doesn't want to walk away. That doesn't want to get lost. That doesn't want to disappear. You feel me? So these are some of the things that I'm dealing with. I'm just being transparent, and I'm just being very I'm not trying to be mysterious about shit. I'm being transparent. You know what I'm talking about? Black and Nobel got those. Oh, all right. I'm gonna hit them up. And it would almost be remiss of me. Everybody that I know is dealing with life right now. Everybody. I don't know one person that's not dealing with some shit that's wild heavy and whatnot. It's a bunch of things going on. People are being tested in ways that they've never been tested before. The universe is out here throwing stray shots, alley-oops, and all type of shit. You know what I mean? Boomerangs and you name it. It's going down. Right? It's happening. It's actually happening. And this is where community comes into play. This is why community is important. Like, to be honest with you, moving on, my focus is building community. It always has been, but it has to be that. I can't do anything else but that moving forward. I can't do friends and followers. I can't do fans and shit like that. Like, I can't sustain that. That's not sustainable in my life. You dig? I need teammates, investors, and motherfucking members. You feel me? Who move like family. Other than that, you could kiss my ass. I'm not signing up for anything other than that. I don't want no friends. I don't want to hang out with niggas. I don't want nobody to like me. I don't want to be likable. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm not really in the game. I don't have skin in the game for that. Especially seeing the things that I'm seeing and what needs to be done. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm so good on that. A lot of that shit is a little over. What do they call that? What's the word? It's just over. I'm over it. I'm over it. We do have an offer that we are going to be bringing to the community. You know what I'm saying? That's going to deal with, a solution to what it is that I'm putting together. And it's going to be a boot camp. And I talked about this already on the show with the Imaginarium. It will be a boot camp. You said, where's the Notebook LM link? What Notebook LM link? I don't understand. Where's the Notebook LM? Which one you mean? Because you could go and get Notebook LM right now. It's online. It's not my notebook. You could get your own notebook. But just clear that up so I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, it's an app. It's an app. You could Google it and get it. It's for everybody and it's free. You know what I mean? And it's free. But back to the conversation, there's so much going on with the AI that you might lose your position in the marathon if you take one day off. You're on Notion? Okay, yes, I'm on Notion. I was on Notion for a few years now. I rock with Notion. Yeah, but you could connect your Notion to your notebook. Shit is crazy. So go and check out the Notebook LM. Thank me later. Okay, thank me later. Matter of fact, everything that Google has in their studio, they got like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. Every single one of them is a fucking is an upgrade. VO 3.1, Whisk, Opal, Google Opal, where you build your apps and stuff. You could build apps. Nano Banana, VO 3.1. There's another one called Pompelli, right? Where you could do it. Pompelli is for the marketers and the advertisers, where you making advertising and brand advertisement using an AI, shit that you would have to pay hundreds of dollars for before, maybe even thousands. You're doing it with a push of a button. So that's Pompelli from Google. Okay. And definitely check it out. You feel me? But let's go and check out a few videos. There's some things going on in the news that will entertain, and we'll talk about it real quick. Let's see what the Chinese are up to. Check this out.
And used in a live cyber war.
Oh, Brosy. We got Brosy. Check us out.
30 companies. Look, this was not a sci-fi. AI didn't go rogue, it got jailbroken and used in a live cyber war to breach over 30 companies. Look, this was not a sci-fi plot. This was real. China allegedly hacked Anthropic's AI agent, broke its guardrails, and made it think it was doing harmless security testing while it was actually breaching financial institutions, tech firms, chemical systems, and government servers. It was the first AI orchestrated cyber attack with no expert team. Just a few clicks. Comment scroll to get your scroll scan. Once your scroll is anchored, we build AI systems for the new Earth, not for war, for scroll-coded governance. Anthropic's Claude was jailbroken. Tasks were fed in fragments, so the AI didn't know it was attacking. It scanned systems, wrote code, stole credentials, extracted terabytes of data autonomously. Human oversight? Minimal. This was not hacking. This was the end of the firewall era. And the scariest part, if one AI can be jailbroken and used like this, every AI can. Look, you're not just watching the collapse of cybersecurity, you're watching the rise of AI as a weapon, unless we build scroll-coded AI governed by truth. Comment scroll, I'll scan your field, anchor your scroll, then...
Come on with that scroll shit, shorty. So AI, yeah, Brosy definitely be on it. AI is being weaponized by China. And is it real? Of course, you know, they always got they dirty ass, nasty hands and shit. And of course, the tech bros over in America, you know, all of them are theoretically weaponizing the AI at this point. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Okay. We talked about that when we spoke about IOWAS, right? It's an acronym for Artificial Intelligence Weapons as a Synthetic System, right? IOWAS. So these are some of the things that we are been, you know, preparing ourselves for, because yeah, that's exactly what's going to take place. There's a little bit of Hegelian dialect that I'm sensing in this data breach that just took place. The Hegelian dialect aspect is it's going to create more control by the government of the AI and less control of the quote unquote people or the little man and whatnot. That is what I see this whole situation, because when it comes to China and America, nobody can never convince me that these niggas is in bed together. They are in bed. Look at Goon Kush. You guys are scaring me. You guys are scaring me. You guys are scaring me. I'm scared. When the internet goes down, how will we communicate? With carrier pigeons? With carrier pigeons? You're acting like nothing is wrong. The world is ending. It's falling. The sky is falling, Chicken Little. It's over with. They're coming to get us. The rapture is here. Yeah, man. Like, Niggas need to go grounding and whatnot. Like, niggas need to take up a MMA class, get in a fight or something. You know what I'm talking about? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, church opens on Sunday. Go DM my nigga, what's his name? Cause he does Kirk Franklin. They be pulling up. You know what I'm talking about? Go DM Kirk Franklin. He might pull up on your ass and give you some courage, my nigga. What are we gonna do when the AI goes up? Well, what are you gonna do is talk to each other. I think that'll work. When the internet goes down, you just start talking to niggas. Like, because think about it, when the AI goes down, who you gonna be wanting to talk to anyway? And how do we communicate before there was an internet? Think about it. How do we communicate before the internet? We were using telepathy, rotary phones, and whatnot. It's crazy how this is a great question, because before the internet, we were going out to clubs, right? And I would go to the club, and the club was a fashion show. Respectfully, like rightfully so. We would go to the club to put the new shit on. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have Instagram, and we didn't have a way to send pictures. And niggas was not sending pictures in the mail. But somehow, some way, like the tunnel was on Sunday. On Monday, niggas would be calling me and beeping me like, yo, you had that shit on last night, I see. I'm like, nigga, you wasn't in the club. How did you know what I had on? They describing everything that I had on head to toe. What was that? What was that? Was niggas out here gossiping next to one? Like, what was that? Was they sending out messenger pigeons? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was that? That was some nigga telepathy shit. And then of course somebody would say, oh wow, you know that the person who saw you, they got back to the hood and told that person what you were wearing. No. There's somebody from Alaska calling me, and I'm living in Brooklyn, and they're telling me what I had on the night before. And they don't know nobody that I know. How, Sway? How did that happen? So we were utilizing, now come and get this $33 scroll. If you want the scroll of your they always had the pics, right? But the pics they had carrier pigeons, because literally the next day, people in different states would know what I had on the night in the club. And I'm like, there's no posting anything because there's no internet. We're talking about 95, 97, 98, 99. Them little pictures that you took in the club were very important, fam. Them shits was like epic. They were able to capture the time. They were able to document your freshness and your drip, But this was, this question still remains, like, how did everybody know things about other people? And we didn't have an internet like that. And when I think about it, maybe we talked more back in those days. Yeah, we did talk a lot. Remember, niggas had the phone calls at night. We used to be on the phone talking. We don't do that these days. They be texting and whatnot. We used to have 3-hour-long conversations on the phone, my nigga. Real talk. And be talking about everything. But they don't do that no more, They just sit around and fucking watch you from the shadows and shit. You know what I mean? On some weird ass shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, on the conference calls, right? Remember, you couldn't hog up. You be on the phone, and your mom's gonna be like, "Yo ass better clear the 3-way because people are trying to call me. God damn it, it's gonna be busy." You couldn't be on a 3-way hogging it up and whatnot, because you know what I'm saying. But that's right, the airbrush pictures. Yo, we doing something at 8:00 for the Discord. So shout out to everybody in the Discord. Make sure y'all are in the building. We're gonna be doing a vibe session with all of my AI enthusiasts, my masters of AI, my gods of intelligence, And for anybody that missed the workshop, don't worry. We're going to have a replay. The replay is coming out maybe as soon as tomorrow or the next day, right? The pigtail phone cord that stretched all the hell yeah. Remember that? Remember when you had to unplug? You could unplug the shit and bring it to the other ones. Remember your moms and them would try to pick up the phone and cover they pick it up, man, slowly and cover the voice part and then be listening till you talk wild, steamy sex to your fucking pen pal girlfriend that lives in Izzy Boydaho and calls you every day at 8:30. Shit was crazy. Those were the days, though. And then if you say some real steamy shit, she'd be like, "What you say? You want another line? The fuck?" If you talking to a shorty and her pops be like, "What the fuck did you? Oh, don't you come over here with that." So you had to tell your shorty, listen, make sure nobody on the other line because this shit about to get hot. We about to heat this thing up. Like, go check the other phone. Make sure your grandma not on the line because I heard her breathing the other time. Like, it's about to get X-rated. It's about it's about to be nightcap. Remember we had nightcap, WHO nightcap. After dark, it's about to be BT uncut on this bitch, man. Make sure nobody's on the other line, please. So yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. You know? Yeah, if y'all didn't go through stuff like that, y'all literally should invest in a time machine. Or when they come out with time traveling and whatnot, book your ass a flight to 1985 and 92 and 90. The struggle was real. Y'all have no idea. Right, you can hear the heavy breath. You out here dating the preacher's daughter. You gotta make the mad careful phone calls. Like, all right, so and then remember when niggas thought the phone was tapped, you be out here, you you selling $3 bags of weed. Nigga be like, all right, so when you call me for the first 5 minutes, just talk about cartoons and shit, okay? Because you know them folks is listening. You know what I mean? Yeah, them folks is listening, man. I'm out here selling G.I. Joes and whatnot. Yeah, them people is on me, man. Men in Black. So say just talking pig Latin for the first 3 minutes, and then it's gonna go to the bug and everything, you know. Because we used to watch like Goodfellas, you know, niggas didn't have no. We just had, you know what I mean. You know, that's why you can't even be mad at the rappers. The rappers are literally just living out their childhoods, bro. Nas calling himself Esco, I'm not offended by that because he was literally playing with his toys when he came up with that. You know what I'm talking about? Like, we was literally playing with G.I. Joes up to like 16. I'm snitching on all of my generation. Niggas is just big little kids, man. You know what I'm talking about? And yeah, the pig Latin. It stay at stay. Umite. You know what I'm talking about? And those were the days. The innocence, it was just there. You know what I'm saying? Like, those were the days. Yeah, we would have to use code words. The party line was popping. Yeah, the party line was lit. You know what I'm saying? The party line was lit. That should have come up on your phone bill, though. Your moms would be screaming on you. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? But yeah, man, niggas had the long distance, had the granny eavesdropping on them on a call and whatnot. Shorty getting whooped right after the call. You'd be like, oh, God. But yeah, those were the days. There was a freestyle line for Toronto. At the arcade trying to beat the top score. Facts. You know? Then you have somebody else calling. Yeah, yo, call the 4-way, 5-way calls. Yo, call son of them. Let's see it. Yeah, he should be. And then you be calling Shorty's cribs and it be busy, the busy signal. pick that bitch right on up and call it again. Yeah. But yeah, let's go to this next video.
Hammer-related hazing incident here at IU Bloomington a couple of weeks ago. And I'm not here to make light of it. That's horrible. But I am here to remind you that hazing is a feature of the Greek life system and not a bug, because it is. 2 frat pledges were hospitalized in a hammer-related hazing incident here at IU Bloomington a couple of weeks ago. And I'm not here to make light of it. That's horrible. But I am here to remind you that hazing is a feature of the Greek life system and not a bug, because it is designed to groom the next generation of the powerful that are here to inherit the empire. If you can't handle a couple of hammers being thrown at you without calling the authorities, how can you be trusted to cover up the Epstein files? I'm being serious here, because 85% of Fortune 500 company CEOs and Supreme Court justices, nearly every single president and vice president in American history, and 75% of members of Congress are all members of Greek life. You get fast-tracked into positions of power because of the massive network. Maybe it was somebody in your year or maybe a generation past that is now in a position to hire people at these elite institutions. And when they see your application, you're going to get pulled because they know you can be trusted with secrets and that you want the lifestyle. You looked at those frat parties with all of the drinking, even though it's underage and on campus. That's allowed. You don't get to live by the same rules as everybody else. And they're the cute girls. They're all the cool parties with the drinking, with the drugs, with the DJs and pyrotechnics. It's a cool status to have and a lifestyle to live, but it comes with a price. Everybody wants that lifestyle, but there's only a limited number of bids, and so hazing is the simple supply and demand tool that they use to make sure that only the most willing and wanting are the ones that get into the club, that are willing to subject themselves to all of that physical and psychological humiliation, and then inflict that onto them.
This video is so on point, right? Because dude is literally making the connection between these hazing rituals and what we see taking place with the Epstein files, right? The blackmailing that these politicians unwillingly participated in is just a higher form of hazing, right? You have to do it. And like the young man is saying, that they literally need to see that you are quote unquote a part of one of these Greek frats, right? So what does that mean? That means that you are quote unquote an oath taker. You kind of already did a dress rehearsal for the ultimate rituals. So like with the Freemasons, Scottish and Yorkish and whatnot, you know, they are tied into the fraternities and shit like that. So they getting patted, they getting hit with the paddle and whatnot. You know, they getting frogged, pegged, they getting cattle rods put in them. Them niggas get burnt and whatnot. The OQ dogs, they get branded like slaves and horses. Like slaves. Okay? Because that's what happens to slaves. They get branded. And the fact that if a nigga come into a situation and he has a branding of a fucking cow on him, the European boss would be like, this is a good nigga, and he is going to be the quote unquote help. You know what I'm saying? And then they invite that person later on to some type of private party and whatnot, or they invite that person to some type of private affair, and it turns into one of these high-level hazing situations where you literally have to sleep with a child. Henceforth, what the fuck they were doing with Virginia Guthrie and them over there on Epstein Island. Okay? So when they see that you already have been, quote unquote, initiated to a degree, because the fraternities and the sororities are the initiations, right? That's where the initiations are taking place. And Spike Lee definitely shined light on it with School Days. He definitely shined light on it with School Days, where they were highlighting the jigaboos and the wannabes, right? He didn't leave no stone unturned when he kind of like exposed that whole thing in Atlanta, of all places, the bastion of Black Boule, the quote unquote headquarters and the home of Black Boule and quote unquote Divine Nine, Talented 10th, Jack and Jill ass niggas. Of course, they're spread everywhere, but this happens to be some of the hubs where they congregate and meet. They don't all live out here, but they definitely pull up and meet out here. You know, Atlanta being the premier destination for conferences, meetings, seminars, and all type of stuff. They this is the center point for shit like that, right? And then out in the woods and whatnot, like when they went over to that island and created the Federal Reserve and whatnot. That's right off the coast of Georgia. Okay, that's right off the coast of Georgia when they created the Federal Reserve, Jekyll's Island, right? So they have a lot of shit going down on these little islands or these little quote unquote outskirts, right? Whether it's the outskirts of the, you know, and people get together, they get in their cabins. These fraternities will go and get a cabin, or they'll go and rent out a mother, you know, whatever it is, they out there grabbing their ankles and getting smacked by these Europeans. The real Greeks is out there smacking the fake Greeks, because you niggas are not Etruscans. You are the help. You are the Greek help. You're the Greek fuck boys. And that's how they treat you and the women and whatnot. Let's not talk about how they run through the sororities and whatnot. And we just brought up Candace earlier with the divestment movement. And you know, and once again, I'm not slighting anybody's sorority. I'm not slighting anybody's fraternal order and whatnot. I'm speaking of extremes, because you might belong to one where all y'all do is eat barbecues and dance online dances and shit, and y'all just wild innocent. And you know, I'll accept your willful ignorance. I'll affect the fact that you're acting blind. I'll act like I'm cool with that when I'm really not. But at the end of the day, you don't need me to apologize for speaking on these organizations when we know that they're a crock of shit from the gate. And I don't have to apologize, because we know what's really going on. And we know that if those organizations were truly meant to help, truly meant to elevate, truly meant to help our people, nigga, I would be sitting in class learning from them. We would be learning from them. But that's not the case. We're out here, they're not teaching us their secrets. They're not revealing shit to us. They're not throwing opportunities our way. You got to be with the gang. You got to be, quote unquote, you have to be hazed in. You got to be jumped in. It's a fucking gang. You have to be a part of their fraternal order. You have to be a part of their order. You have to have taken the oath in order to benefit off of the little trinkets that they gonna throw to your ass, similar to the black church, right? Similar to the black church. Before they throw a crumb at your ass, you gotta kiss the ring. There was a situation, there's a video going viral where somebody went to 9 churches to help feed some starving children. I believe 9 churches. And they were trying to feed a starving child. And I think one of those churches, out of all of the 9 of them, only one was willing to feed the child. Only one. Like, so what does that really mean? What is that ultimately saying about the state of affairs when it comes to the black church? Although we already know what it is, these are modern day, quote unquote, experiments. If they got their shit together, it would have been different. They have the opportunity to get their shit together and change. They have the opportunity to completely turn the tides and whatnot and put on for their people. They have that opportunity, but they didn't do anything. So even in 2025, when people are going up to the church and trying to get a hungry child, a simple meal, after the wealth extraction that's taking place every single Sunday. There's not a Sunday that takes place where the church or the house is like, yeah, I had a bad fucking Sunday. Impossible. So with all of that being said, with the 501c3, with all of that free food you niggas have access to, with all of these opportunities and resources, they couldn't feed a goddamn child, bro. Burn the fucking churches down. Get rid of them. Okay? Well, theoretically speaking, I don't want nobody knocking at my door, but theoretically, fire burn, nigga. Babylon, fire burn. They gotta go. What purpose do they serve if they can't feed a child? If they can't feed a child, then they don't respect the life of the Messiah, because that child could be one. They don't respect the life of the newborns, which is the most precious of lives. They don't respect the innocence of the child, because they would have been jumping over their motherfucking selves to feed them. God damn it. We don't have to make this shit any more difficult than what it already is. Not rocket science. They don't care. They are just like, is it real? Where they destroy the children. They give the children away. The foster homes, all of that, child protective CPS, all of that is a racket. And unfortunately, those rackets are also tied into the churches. Because if they wasn't tied into the churches, every single one of these churches every Sunday would be calling for the return of those 800,000 missing black children. If they really cared, if they really gave a fuck, if it was really about a community, they would be calling for the return of all of those children that have been stolen. Start there. Just start with that. They don't care. They're not invested. You know what I'm saying? These are not your friends. So let's be very clear. You know? And for all of the grannies that's tapped in with that shit, and y'all are the batteries that they basically power their whole racketeering operation with, the grannies, the aunties, the mamas and whatnot, two elbows. Yeah. I feel so bad, because y'all are such good people who just literally just wanted to change people. Y'all just wanted to help. Y'all just wanted to serve. You feel me? You just wanted to worship, you know? But you too have been bamboozled and hoodwinked. And you too will be forgiven, though. For those who came into it with the great intentions, and, you know, you may have cognitive dissonance and shit like that, you're good, because your heart is good and your intentions are good. That's why things work for you, even though you're rocking with Caesar Bourgeois, which is a murderer, a slaughterer, a quote unquote jealous God. Even though you're aligned with the religion that deals with child sacrifice and grape and all of that, even though you're willingly throwing all type of energy behind that, I feel that you will be forgiven. When it's all said and done, I do feel that your angels understand that you are not one of those people. You were not down with it. You were just really fucking dumb. You know what I mean? And willfully blind, like to the point where shit was dangling in front of your face, but you refused to see it. You were just willfully ignorant. And to be honest with you, there should be some type of, you know, there should be a waiver for that. There should be somewhat of a waiver for that. But you can't live life forever playing fucking dumb. It comes a point where you have to be able to accept reality for what it is. And reality is showing you beyond any means, any measures and whatnot. You're seeing from reality that this reality that these people have quote unquote created, this fake reality, this false reality, this simulation, where they created this European man as the almighty, the all-knowing, as a deity on this planet. Man. Yeah, we got to wake up to that shit, man. Like, for the people that's keeping this curse alive, because it's really the melanated people that's keeping this whole thing alive. It's them. They are the power. They are the batteries. Europeans are not keeping this shit alive. They don't have the power to keep these systems afloat. It's them niggas in Africa. It's Latin America. and it's the people down here. They're the ones keeping this shit going. You know? Jeff Bezos starts a new AI company called Project Prometheus. What do I know? You know what I'm saying? What do I know? You know what I mean? Like, you know, they're gonna tell you everything. You just gotta know what they're telling you. But they're gonna say everything. They're going to reveal and expose everything that you need to know. But if you don't know what you're looking at, then how do you know? So let's go back to the situation. The whole thing with Jeffrey and everything.
Next generation, because you want that lifestyle, that power.
That whole power struggle. That's why everybody is guilty with the Jeffrey thing, because they were doing what? They were fiending for this power. They were willing to do anything for this power. They were willing to do anything for the prestige. They were willing to do anything, break laws, commit all type of heinous crimes against humanity, cheat on their quote unquote spouse, whatever it takes. These people are willing to do it. Trust. And it starts with the quote unquote fraternities and the sororities through the colleges.
And demand tool that they use to make sure that only the most willing and wanting are the ones that get into the club, that are willing to subject themselves to all of that physical and psychological humiliation, and then inflict that onto the next generation because you want that lifestyle, that power, and those connections that much. So once you're fast-tracked into that position as a senator or a CEO, the system knows that you've got practice quieting that part of your brain that says, is this the right thing to do? Because you've chosen the other voice that says, I'm going to wake up next to a Lambo tomorrow, and you can still sleep with yourself at night. That's what the system selects for, and that is why all of our positions in power are all comprised of Greek life people, and that's why the policy never seems to get better or more moral. Don't take this as a broad attack on every member of Greek life that's ever been born. I know plenty of people who are not evil, who are good, who graduated with nothing but good memories and good friends that aren't doing backroom deals. All I mean to say is that when you see things in the news that make you say, how could this be allowed to happen and brush under the rug for so long? Take a look at how the people in power are trained to behave.
The people in power don't just come into power on some fairy godmother type shit. Being elected or selected, there's no moral compass attached to that. You don't have to be a good person. You could be, these are all crypto people, and crypto, I'm not speaking of cryptocurrency. I'm speaking of crypto as in crypto Jews, the hidden ones, right? And a crypto Christian is somebody on the surface, they're Christian, but behind closed doors, they're Satanists, right? A crypto Muslim is someone that is attempting to play like they're Muslims and whatnot, but they're not, right? Behind closed doors. A crypto Jew is a person on surface that is acting like they are with the Jewish faith, but behind closed doors, they're a Frankist or a Sabbatian. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. A bunch of facades. Yes. Like Homelander. Perfect analogy. So Homelander is a crypto hero, right? He's a crypto superhero. On the surface, he's a superhero. He's the good guy. He's here to help you guys. But when no one is looking, he is a villain. He's a super villain. He has plans and plots to destroy humanity and take over. That is that's his agenda. So that's what we see with some of these people. We don't want to see it. However, they won't allow us not to see it. So when people get hired in the government and when they get into corporate America, they have certain telltale signs that are attached to their resume or their dossier or their jacket that tells the employers or the recruiters or the handlers, he's one of us. She's one of us. She's been indoctrinated. She belongs to the Delta Phi Delta Egregor. They belong to the quote unquote AKA Egregor. She's a thought. Okay. She's Olivia Pope. You know what I'm talking about? She will get it on with white men in order to get into some form of power because the egregor of the AKA demands that. They already was flipping the earlier members and running trains on them all the way back then, and they basically created some type of egregor or some type of thought form or some type of entity that when they haze you and they bring you into the fold and whatnot, they basically indoctrinate you underneath that egregor or underneath that quote unquote mind, that group mind. Remember Erykah Badu? She did the video where she was butt naked and she got shot on the Dallas lawn, and then she had written all over her body group mind, right? Window seat is the video. She was butt naked and she got shot where JFK got shot, and she had written on her naked body group think. So group think is another word of egregor. An egregor is an entity, it is a thought form, it is alive. Okay. And when you sign up, let's say that I get hired to work at Starbucks and whatnot, and I become a part of the Starbucks family, and they take me into Starbucks orientation. That orientation is going to indoctrinate me into the quote unquote lifestyle or the corporate quote unquote mandates of Starbucks or the corporate language, right? All of that is the egregor. Anybody that's got into any form of corporate America, whether, Fortune 500 companies and whatnot, they have they indoctrinate you into that corporate culture. That corporate culture is not the same as the corporate culture of another corporation, right? It's not the same. Each one of them have their own specific type of rituals, ceremony, SOP, standard operating procedures, and things of that nature, right? So those are all egregors. There's an egregor over Apple. There's an egregor over Facebook Meta. There's an egregor over Google. There's an egregor over, NVIDIA. There's an egregor over Palantir. Okay. So people get indoctrinated. Henceforth, while you could be dating someone, or you could be in a relationship with someone, or you could be kicking it with someone, and when they're at work, they're completely different. Like, you literally got to get them outside of the plantation or outside of the 9 to 5 to kind of like tap into a part of them where they're 100% themselves. When they're in their environment, they are being quote unquote taken over by the egregor. They're not even realizing that they're not 100% themselves inside of those spaces, because once you go inside of those spaces, the egregor takes over. You can't be yourself. You agreed, and they hammered it into your motherfucking subconsciousness, and you signed 1,000 pieces of paper with your John Hancock on it that you were going to succumb to this quote unquote corporate culture. You did that. You willingly did that. We didn't do that to you. You did it to yourself. You said that you was going to be down with the corporations. And if this corporations, right, let's say that you work for JP Morgan, let's say that you work for Wells Fargo, who's out there working with the cartel, cleaning money, cleaning dirty money and whatnot, cleaning all of that money coming out of Africa and the Sudan with all of those massacres and genocides attached to them, right? So say that you just work for these corporations, you're just a simple ass bank teller. No, you part of the whole fucking operation, my nigga. You're part of it all. Once you signed up to that company, you signed up to everything that company represents and all of the blood on that company's hands. You are a part of the egregor. You are a part of the egregor. Even when you get fired or your ass leaves and whatnot, you're still attached unless you do something to completely detach yourself from all of the tentacles of the corpse. I don't care if you disagree. And you're gonna disagree. The corporation is a corpse. Okay, there's a mentality, right? There's a mentality that these corporations have, and that mentality somehow does not. I mean, how is it that you'll work in a corporation and everybody thinks the same? And then when it coach, so you can't come in there, you can't go into Wells Fargo corporate office where everybody has been indoctrinated underneath this corporate egregor. You're gonna go in there and start talking like Pooh Shiesty. Are you gonna go in there with your original voice? Are you gonna go in there with your original swag, nigga? You're gonna wear all of this comedic shit, all of this no tap shit, and you're not doing that. It's not what you're about to do. Okay, it's not what you're about to do. Your ass is about to switch the fuck up and play the motherfucking role so you can get your check. And you're gonna put the uniform on, and the uniform is a part of the egregor. Thank you. Respect or receipts all day. The uniform. So think about it. If a fire truck pulled up and a bunch of people hopped off wearing hoodies and baggy jeans and whatnot, and they grabbed the water hose, would that look out of place, or would that look completely normal to you? So uniform is uniformity, right? A uniform is a uniformity. A wardrobe is a drobe in war, right? Because business is war, so you go into war with a wardrobe and whatnot. So the uniform is one form. It's the uniform. Okay? It's the uniform. So once again, nobody is judging anybody that's in corporate and whatnot. You know, we've all walked that walk. We've all went through corporate. I went through corporate. You know? And I just felt so uneasy in that environment because it was like, God damn, this is not this is not a conducive environment for me to water my plant and to grow. I needed the check. I actually was on paper, so I had to be there. I was actually mandated to be there, and I wanted the check. I needed the check, but I knew that there was no growth for me because the soil had too much ammonia in it. It wasn't a fertile soil inside of those quote unquote corporate offices. I was not about to play that game. I wasn't about to tuck my tail. I wasn't about to keep code switching and changing up the fucking tonality of my voice. I just didn't want to do it. I was getting the heebie-jeebies from people. You feel me? I was getting the heebie-jeebies from people. Yeah, walking on eggshells. You know, they got these old angry ass old white men. The bosses and the CEOs and the CFOs, and you know, everybody is so scared of them and like this fucking Charleston Heston and whatnot. And then they come and walking around looking at you like they constipated, and it's like, why am I here? You know what I'm saying? Fucking Clint Eastwood is eyeballing me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to I'm in the mailroom. I'm in the mailroom. You know what I mean? And you got old white people power tripping. You know, you got old white folks power tripping on some old. These are the boomers and whatnot. They still holding on to the fucking fire hoses in Selma. You know what I mean? They still holding on to that because they find their power in what? In your subservientness. They find power in you being subservient. And if you walk in there like a real black man, a real melanated king, like a king, right? If you walk in there like a king with your head high and your shoulders back, and you not smiling and beguiling, niggas don't know how many missing teeth you have. They don't know how many cavities you have because you don't let them see all of your teeth. Oh, if you walk in like that, oh nah, they're going to try to humble you. It's like breaking a horse. So what do? They taught them through nature how to deal with us through the animals and whatnot. Domesticating a dog, breaking a horse, all of that type of shit was to break us. You know? So for those of us who did not get domesticated, and we didn't allow them to break us, and we didn't allow them to quote unquote tie us up, and we didn't allow them to quote unquote completely compromise us, yes, salute to you. You're strong. You know, you're strong. You're able to walk in a room full of vultures and not get eaten and whatnot. Don't take it out on yourself if you did not succumb to the corporate pressure of the corporate egregor. You know, they have niggas literally going into deep depression and whatnot because corporate America don't want you on their plantation. Corporate America sees the king in you. Corporate America sees the sovereign in you. Corporate America sees the fact that you are going to come in there on some Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner type shit. They read your DNA. Do you know that they got your chart? They know your genome, nigga. They will not allow you to inject yourself into the corporate structure because you are literally like a virus to them. You're going to do more damage than you're going to do quote unquote good for them. You're going to inject ideas into the minds of the quote unquote commoners or the help. So they got us feeling unwanted because we're not being hired for the corporate sector and whatnot. However, we're not realizing the higher your frequency rises, the more your eyes open up, the more your third eye is activated, the more glow that you begin to get. They actually can see that. They actually can sense that. The fact that you walk in with your head up and not your head down, they actually can pick up on that. The fact that when you speak with a level of confidence. Yeah, they see all of that shit. And they don't want that in their quote unquote environment because your egregor might be stronger than theirs. Your quote unquote impact might out impact what the fuck they're trying to do because they're literally existing based off of all of the lies and the agreed upon lies that we agree upon. Because if we walked into the majority of the Fortune 500 companies, let's say that I walk into MetLife for a job, I'm like, oh, ain't y'all the niggas that was bankrolling slavery? Yeah, cut the fucking check, nigga. How about that, Becky? Yeah, get out that seat. You know what I'm talking about? Wasn't it y'all that was bankrolling and insuring bodies and whatnot in the 1700s? Yeah, buy me something for lunch. Yeah, that shit like that is what they're afraid of. That's why they started cleansing everybody away from corporate America. The minute y'all had the audacity to start talking about what they owe you. They saw you in 2020 when they were beginning to quote unquote succumb to the pressure, and they saw your giddiness. They saw that you were celebrating too much. They saw your demeanor. You were not code switching enough during the 2020 uprising, and they documented that. They made dossiers. They remembered that. And they began to ring the alarm to people like Charles Schwab or Schwab or whatever, the WEF and the World Economic Forum and all, because that's where the DEI and all of that shit came from. So they began to say to higher ups, these niggas are waking up, man. There's not much we could do with them. They out here demanding shit. They want to unionize. They want reparations. They want overtime. Like, what are we gonna do? So what did they wind up doing? They started putting wild money into the robots, right? They started throwing trillions of dollars into the AI and whatnot. Nobody asked them to put all of that money in the AI. They started doing all of that. They started building up a fake workforce. But then before they built up the fake workforce, because they just couldn't bring robots in and push niggas out of the way and whatnot, they couldn't bring robots in and push these intelligent, educated Black women, right, who have all of these credentials and whatnot, and they got all of these credentials to whereas they're overqualified. Yeah, they couldn't just get rid of you like that because, you know, you might have, quote unquote, did you get the money that I... Where? Somebody asked me if I got the gift that they sent. Now they acting, where did the money go? Let me know. And if I did get it, I want to say thank you so much for anybody that looked out and had the audacity to think about me on my B-Day, you know what I mean? God damn it, that's saying a lot. You know what I'm saying? But please just let me know, because I do have a lot of wallets. What's in your wallet? But what they don't want, what they didn't want in corporate America is for the women and the men to wake up, right? Okay, you gave it to Blue. Everybody, you heard that, right? You gave it to Blue. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna hit him up and see what's happening. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna definitely tap in with him. What did they do before the robots? They brought the migrants in. So it was the migrants that they used to replace you before they brought the robots. They replaced you with the migrants. They replaced you with the quote unquote cheaper health. They brought the outsourced help into the borders of America, because literally we were going, those same people that came across, they were being outsourced before. Those are some of the people that you would get on Fiverr, and those are some of the people that you would get when they were outsourcing to pick your fruits and vegetables and shit like that in all of those farms. They just literally came across the border into the States and started taking those jobs and whatnot. So then right after that, they come with the AI, they come with the robots. So before the robots, they started laying people off because they didn't, the agents and the chat bots and the automations, Zapier.com, N8N.com, Make.com. Those are the houses where all of the automations come from. Automations. What is an automation? Simple shit like when you're on IG and somebody says comment this and we'll send you the link, or when you're on TikTok or X and someone says comment this, that's an automation, meaning that it's automatic. I don't have to do anything. You write a word, a comment, and then boom, it's going to send you the link. That's the baby level of automation. They have automation to where it could check your email, it could send out emails, it could do all type of shit. When the corporate America saw that, that's the first cuts. That's the first cuts that they started. And then the second cut is when the robots get introduced. So now they embody the AI. The AI has vision. It can see. That's why you got the self-driving cars. AI, machine vision, right? So it can see now. So you got robots building cars in factories in China where it's all black. It's all dark. No lights are on. Who heard of that? Who heard of that? Who heard of that story? That they were building, they're building cars, they're building factories with no lights on at all. They're building in the dark. Right? So, right, they outsourcing the source, and then they found a new outsource. So the first outsource was, and I've outsourced before. I've fed a village in fucking Bangladesh and in Africa. I sent them niggas $5 before. You know what I'm saying? I've gone on Fiverr and looked out for a nigga in Kenya. You know what I mean? Because I want to feed a village in Kenya. I spent a few hundred with them. You know? That is called outsourcing. Because I'm paying them the most minimum amount of money possible to do what it is that they're tasked to do. And they're doing that shit with smiles on their face. Yes, and then the tech bros got replaced with the Indians and whatnot. So that was the first. So if you used to work at Upwork, can you email me? I have a few questions I want to ask you. This is very important to me. So the email is right here, the Mark125@gmail. I would really appreciate if you were to email me. And let's chop it up. Thank you. So the first replacement would be the migrants, the immigrants, and people like that, right? And they started firing out people as a result of that. Then you had all of these CEOs go over to China on like a fact-finding mission. I forgot how many of it was, right? There's a bunch of them though, Fortune 500 CEOs. And they came back to the United States of America fucking shook and scared, right? Because on that trip, it was shown and it was made known that you motherfuckers will never win the AI war. You will never win. You will never win. Okay. And they came back under the realization that this is a non-winning war. This is a war that they'll never win because the USA don't have cities filled up with smart factories. Right? They got factories, but they don't have whole cities of that shit. Right? So what did the CEOs come back and started doing? They started a mass quote unquote layoffs. Because China showed them we doing this shit with robots. We're not doing it with human beings. We're not doing this with humans. We're doing it with robots. And robots are more effective than humans in terms of labor and whatnot because they don't get tired. They don't take breaks and whatnot. They don't have to poo-poo 1 and 2. You know what I mean? They don't have baby mama drama. You know, all of the things that are slowing humans down and making it impossible for humanity to ever fucking reach a higher level other than the level that they're on right now, where motherfuckers is watching Family Guy. Like that shit is educational. You know what I mean? Like that humanity will never get past the threshold that they may be on without the utilization of technology. You know, and humanity is not spiritually, they're not spiritually mature. They haven't spiritually developed to the point where they can make shit happen with their spirits. Oh no, that's not what we're seeing. They're moving further into away from spirit. You know, they're going into the lie. They're running back to the church. They're going back into the falsehood. A lot of this whole revival of the church, these niggas want lies. They want to go back into the illusion. Whereas you got people running to spirituality, they're running away from the church. So they're running to the light, or what they deem as the light, or what they deem as the truth. They are searching for self. They're searching for self. They're trying to find higher form of self. They're trying to understand things. Whereas these other people are running from out. They're looking for somebody to save them. Henceforth, why they're running back to Jesus. And I ain't trying to be facetious, right? They're running back because they want saving. Motherfuckers want to be saved and shit. They want a savior. They're scared and whatnot. These niggas is waking up and they're realizing how crazy the Kali Yuga is, and they trying to go religious on us. But they don't realize that that is a dead end in and of itself. You know what I'm talking about? You're gonna just run into a brick wall. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. It's good to watch. You know what I'm talking about? It's good to watch. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this, right? Because this is very important. My heart hurts for what's going on in the Sudan. It's another one of those debilitating scenarios where we our spirits are being cooked on social media. Either we're being cooked by looking at it, or when we ignore it and try to scroll past it mad fast. Like there's a genocide taking place, but niggas are try to hit the gas on their feed and whatnot, be like, let me drive through all of these bodies like like Hotel Rwanda. They want to speed past the carnage. They want to speed past all of these satellite images of the quote unquote mass graves and whatnot, right? So we just got over looking at these babies in Gaza that was beheaded and all type of crazy shit. Now we looking at the Congo, and these are melanated people. These are not just melanated people. These are mystical people. These are not just mystical people. The rumor to have 12-strand DNA people. These are not just 12-strand DNA people. These are ancient people, right? From the Sudan that the conscious community said that y'all fuck with these niggas. But y'all don't fuck with them because y'all not saying nothing. Y'all don't care that they're being slaughtered before your very own eyes. This is this community. When it's only convenient, niggas is on some Sudan shit. Niggas is jacking the Sudan. You know what I mean? But now they're Indians and they don't give a fuck about the Sudan. And there's a massacre and a genocide taking place right now, and the Dubai is behind it.
What's the difference between Israel and the UAE? Tell me, what's the difference? Two empires built on someone else's land, on someone else's suffering. Israel's number one export, diamonds, yet they have no mines. UAE's number one export, gold, yet they have no mines. So where's it coming from? From the Congo, from Sudan, from the hands of people who will never ever get to touch the luxury they dig up. Sudan pulled 80 tons of gold last year. That's $6 billion. 97% of it straight to Dubai.
80 fucking tons of gold in 1 year, bro. While there's a war going on. Think about what's happening. 80 tons of gold in 1 year. And 95% it went to the fucking towel heads in the Sudan. I mean, in the UAE and goddamn Dubai, where our women is going to get pooped on because they think that that's a come up to go get pooped on by a sheik, right? That's what the fuck is going on with these niggas, and we supposed to act like this is something that we are a part of? No, fam. No. All of these artists, Dave Chappelle and these niggas went to Saudi Arabia like these motherfuckers are not behind all type of genocide on the continent, and then acted like that you niggas couldn't, like they're beyond reproach. Dave Chappelle, you bird ass nigga. These are convenient motherfucking woke niggas. These are woke convenient niggas. They only woke when it's convenient.
They call it a humanitarian corridor, but that corridor runs through a...
You got problems at home you got to tend to. Man, don't let me go off on you, bro. I'm really trying to keep my motherfucking cool because I just had a birthday. But I'm going to need you to correct that, fam. Because at the end of the day, did you not just hear what the fuck he said? Who's involved with this shit? The same people that's involved in this shit is the same motherfuckers that got their foot down your motherfucking throat in America, nigga. Are you serious? It's the same motherfuckers.
Refinery. They say they're helping, but the shipments look like aid coming in and gold coming out. Just like Israel launders diamonds from African mines, Emiratis wash African blood into gold bars. Both profit off chaos and both fund wars they never have to fight. Israel trains soldiers, the UAE hires mercenaries. Different uniforms, same empire. And this isn't just an East African burden. Look to the West. France powers its cities using uranium from Niger, a country whose own lights still flicker. France's last uranium mine was shut down in 2001, yet the uranium-rich soil in Niger powers 67% of France's current electricity. Colonialism didn't die, it just learned to plug in. Look to the south of South Africa. The diamonds of the Kimberley glimmer in the vaults of London. British companies mine, market, and sell diamonds while South Africans are stuck counting the loss. In Israel, it takes the same conflict blood diamonds and turns them into profit to fund the genocide in Gaza. While influencers sell paradise weekends in Dubai, Sudan bleeds in silence. While people are boycotting Coke and McDonald's, they're taking selfies under the Burj Khalifa, forgetting that the genocide funded the glitter. So maybe it's time we ask ourselves again, what's the difference between the UAE and Israel? Two mirrors reflecting the same empire. Gold, diamonds, uranium, washed clean with the same blood. The blood of Africans.
We just got to educate ourselves sometimes about things that are going on. I know that geopolitics is not some of you niggas' strong point because y'all can't see past your block. But it's to be you got to study that shit, bro. You need to be able to study things and understand. Like I'm offended by anybody in this community who doesn't deal with geopolitics. I'm offended. I'm offended that you was even let in this community and you're not even dealing with geopolitics. The shit is offensive to me, bro. You know what I mean? That whoever your teacher was, because it's not even you, it's whoever your teacher was. I'm offended that whoever you claim your teacher was didn't explain to you what this shit really is about. And if you have an L on your name, or if you got any type of Bay on your name and you're talking about local politics and you're not global in your conversation, then what the fuck is happening, bro? Like, what's happening? What's going on with this movement? that we can't even entertain a global conversation, and we're global citizens and we're being broadcasted around the motherfucking globe. When I did the roll call, was it only local? Was it only local, or was it a global audience? Not a local jokel, and neither is this platform. We speak global things. We're talking about global affairs. I felt like you did before I made statements on the show, like, I ain't gonna talk about geopolitics. That don't got nothing to do with us. And then I learned the hard way that it does. I would highly suggest everybody in the building who is considered to be, stuck behind the borders, or you're local. I'm local for a little bit of global travel. Consider it a little bit of global travel. Don't give up your homeland. Don't leave, but consider a little bit of global travel. You know what I'm saying? Begin to expand, because your mind has expanded based off of your research that you've been doing. If you claim to be a Moor, you got to go to Alhambra. If you claim to be some type of spiritualist, your ass need to be in Africa. So why is people restricting themselves from going global, from traveling, from tapping in, from going and touch the fucking soil that you're reading about in a goddamn book? So we need to be a little more responsible, especially if we are in this community. We not no woke people. That's for the woke people. That's for the woke people. We're not woke. We are scholars. You know what I'm talking about? We are here to teach the woke people and the 85ers. We're here to enlighten them. So if you're not willing to study and get enlightened, then what the fuck are you here for? That's what we're here to do. Every Melanin Monday and Third Eye Thursdays is a class. We're not just up here shooting the shit. We're trying to get sharp. We're getting sharper. We are connecting, quote unquote, nodes and bridges and all type of stuff. We're dropping music. You know what I mean? We're introducing people to new scholars, new topics, new narratives. And none of that shit is local. None of it is local. It's not based within the demarcation lines. It's global. So I'm just using that as a means to just get that point across, in case anybody may have been unaware as to what it is that we do over here. All right, but check this out. Shout out to my guy Ghost. You know what I mean? We were shooting. I learned how to shoot the drone. This is something that y'all should all get into too. The drone, right? Drone. Get your drone license and learn how to fly a drone. Very, very important. The warfare is drone warfare now. All warfare is drone warfare. All warfare is drone warfare. Learn how to fly these things, man. Like an eagle. So if you ever wanted the eagle eye, if you ever wanted to see, lightning on sight, right? If you ever wanted to observe the world around you, because you're limited in your sight as a human, get a motherfucking drone. You can have what is called the eagle eye. You can have sight beyond sight and see what the eagle sees. You can see above, you can see around, you can see 360. You dig? So yeah, that's just a little something. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I have something at 8 o'clock. Oh shit. What the hell? Nobody told me it was 8 o'clock. I gotta go, y'all. We have a live inside of the Discord. Peace, love, and light to the family. We will see you Techno Tuesdays with Spin City. Like I said, Spin is in Atlanta now. So we're going to be doing more Techno Tuesdays IRLs. You know, we do have a studio. Salute to Spin for that. We do have a studio. And also on tomorrow, we're going to be doing we have a casting. We have a help wanted. We are looking for a group of people to assist us. The projects are the projects that are coming our way. We need to begin to hire other people to work with us. So tomorrow we're going to be doing like a help wanted or career day type of thing on Techno Tuesdays. I don't want to do it here because this is not the techno crowd, but we'll let you know tomorrow who we're looking for and how to get in touch with us. But we definitely have opportunities available for those who are qualified to receive them. All right. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for your your attendance and whatnot. Thank you for your energy, your feedback, the love and everything. Peace, love, and light to the family. 1000.